There was a moment where they knew that Bruce was in trouble. It wasn't the 1 win in 10. That was bad. It wasn't the we want Brucey out chance all game. No. When Brucey knew he was in trouble was when somebody, Kenny, threw a cabbage at him. The ultimate. I know Louis Figo got a pig's head, but it's the cabbage that'll do you. Unfortunately, says Brucey, it sums up the society we're in at the moment. He's talking about someone throwing a cabbage at him. There's no respect for anyone. And then key line, this is a cabbage, by the way, that was thrown, not caviar.
You have to keep reminding
not caviar.
yourself. Yeah.
Standard cabbage, like a Savoy cabbage, red cabbage, regular cabbage.
Yeah.
He says, certainly for someone like him, assuming it's a male, may not have been.
I think it was a woman.
For someone like him,
it's a bit of a presumption. Like, did he know the person personally? Or
I don't know if he saw the cabbage being thrown.
The journalist Rupert Bell last night tweeted to say it was an elderly woman, I think, that threw the cabbage.
Stop.
Saying that this is what we've been reduced to.
Well, that actually is society gone mad. Anyway, I'll continue with the
Brexit.
That's disrespectful to the lady, actually referring to her as a him.
Brucey.
Yeah.
He's digging deeper here. So unfortunately, it sums up the society we're in at the moment, he said after the match. There's no respect for anyone. Certainly for someone like him. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, said Brucey. Can you guess what he's going to say next? I'm surprised he knew what a cabbage was. I find the whole thing hugely disrespectful, end quote. And with that, part-time anthropologist, part-time football manager Steve Bruce said, that's the world today, gone mad. Cabbages, Kenny.
Yeah, I mean...
Poor old Brucey.
Yeah, there's lots of different levels to this kind of statement. I don't really know where to start, to be honest. I mean, how does that sum up society to you if someone throws a... I don't know whether it was a vegetable or just specifically a cabbage or any type of vegetable being... If that had been any type of vegetable, would it have been the same? Would it carry the same weight? Well, you see, in terms
it's a sizable vegetable while not necessarily being a hefty one. So it can, hit you.
Yeah.
But it's not going to cause you damage. Like if you throw a spud at someone,
is that the biggest? I mean, maybe a parsnip clips you on the side. Would you accept a parsnip? But something about a cabbage flying through the air. Clearly, that's the lowest of the low. I mean.
I didn't.
How do we grade? How do we grade vegetables as they come onto the pitch?
I didn't know there was a grade.
I didn't realise.
But in terms of an insult.
But yeah, as a litmus test.
Like if you throw a head of garlic at somebody.
Yeah. That's just a bit of garlic for me would be, hey, come on, we can do better than this. Come on, we're a better team than this, lads. Come on, but it's not real. Hasn't got a huge amount of venom behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not too sure a cabbage.
I feel if your cabbage is lowest of the low,
Cabbage is lowest
of the low. I
just think
it's a low class of vegetable. Although Brucey's surprised he knew what a cabbage was.
Why would you not know what a cabbage was?
What?
Why would you not know what a cabbage was?
Well, I mean, I think Brucey's implying this lad is so stupid he wouldn't have known what a cabbage was.
A cabbage implies that it's...
So he's holding a thing in his hand that he's lobbing at Steve Bruce, and before he throws it, he goes,
well, it turns out,
I've no idea what this is, and in disgust throws it in the direction of Steve Bruce.
It was an elderly woman, it now seems.
Elderly person, I've just clarified.
A cabbage implies it's a kind of a product which is really, you don't really see in kind of maybe a Michelin star type, only served up, like the common layman.
Yeah, it's not caviar.
Shouldn't really know what a cabbage... I'm surprised he knew what a cabbage was, and implies that... No, you're with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're reading too much into this.
It implies it's an upper class kind of vegetable.
Cabbage is definitely not an upper class vegetable.
I know, yeah.
Sure, I'm a savage for breaking, and cabbage proves that, Joe.
I think Bruce is implying he's so stupid he wouldn't even know what a lowly cabbage was. You were the one who wanted me to read this out, Kenny. Before Kenny came in at 6:30.
There's a few there.
Sorry.
You're fishing on the vegetable in the supermarket. You kind of pack them together, don't they? Cabbage, got cauliflower, cabbage, kale, green leaves. Yeah. They tend to...
It's all much
You need to give it a little bit of... You don't just whisk your cabbage off there. You need to give it a little bit of thought. You clearly not.
No, you came in at 6:30.
Clearly not.
You came in at 6:30 and we're itching to lead off the show with this. That's the fact. Let's tell the truth.
To be honest, look, I'm laughing because I do find the whole thing very the quote particularly amusing in terms of the obviously a manager's lost his job. It's not a cause for a celebration. To be honest with you, he's had 2 years in the job. He's had the biggest wage bill in the division for the majority of that time. He spent a significant amount of money, and in the game at the moment, I think 2 years at a football club. I think that's as much as you're going to get. We can't see what's the length of managers in the Championship. I think it's been 14 months, less than a year.
Less than a year now.
So if you were given 2 years, and when he went into the football club, Di Matteo had left. It was a very talented squad which inherited. This wasn't going into a squad which needed major surgery. A huge amount of money had already been spent. I actually think the first season he went in, when he went in there, he only went in 6 weeks into the season. I looked at the squad and thought, that's a squad that can still actually not just get into the playoffs, but could still actually win promotion automatically. That's how I felt how good the squad was. Now they finished 13th that first season, so there probably would have been a couple of rumors even at the end of the fourth season. Should we jump or should we stick with him? So he's got another year. He got him into the playoffs. I thought they were beaten badly by Fulham in the final. I've got to be honest with you. I watched the game.
They never had a go in that game.
They had a go. They really struggled for me. They really struggled. I wouldn't say it was a lack of application. It's just in terms of whatever. Yeah,
no,
by
I'm
far.
not saying application. I'm saying they just lumped the ball up. They didn't try and go after the game.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Whichever way you play, they weren't in the game, didn't create enough chances, they were dominating the game, so that was disappointing. And off the back of a really poor start to the season, I think it's one of those situations, invariably hear managers turn around and say, oh, we haven't had the support of the board, this is happy, quick forward attitude of the board, getting rid of managers. But in this particular instance, I think they've actually been fair to the manager, and I think it's the right decision.
I've had issues with Bruce for a long time. I just don't know if he can see a player. Exhibit A, Kenny. Exhibit A.
You saw that Cabbage coming the other night though from the stand. He got out of the way quick enough.
2003 interview Brucey's done here.
2003, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sensing this setup here.
He's talking about Matthew Upson, who's been signed for £1 million from Arsenal. He's a good signing. But the real steal, according to Bruce, says this O3 piece.
Wow.
Republic of Ireland captain Kenny Cunningham at just £600,000 alongside him. Bruce says, this guy, Bruce says, on current form, Cunningham, that's Kenny, is the best defender in the Premiership.
That was pre-season. That was off the back of two.
You're dealing with
that was off the back of 2 pre-season games. The Stafford Rangers and Nuneaton.
How did he ever get a job again?
He soon changed his mind the season started. Don't worry about that. I can tell you now. By the time I left the football club, he hadn't got that opinion.
Oh really? Did this not end well?
No, he was right. My legs were shot. And I was an absolute liability. So
right.
Yeah, happy memories by and large. My time at Birmingham finished badly. Obviously, we got relegated in my final year there, but great club. It was obviously an issue when he went to Villa. I think there were suggestions there when he took the job because of his history with Birmingham. And I think he's made a suggestion that a portion of the crowd never really got behind it, kind of held that against him.
But I never got than the Alex McLeish instance did, though, because McLeish suffered the same thing, but it's more vociferous. Whereas with Bruce, they were more willing to give him a chance. I think.
We have to move on, but in a sentence or two, do you rate Bruce as a coach? Was he good?
I didn't see him as a coach, to be honest with you, because he didn't do a huge amount of coaching. In terms of his best attribute for me, I think generally, possibly, maybe actually player recruitment. That's not just because you've made that comment there. It actually isn't. He made some good signings when he was at Birmingham, and in terms of kind of player acquisition, I think that's hugely important, particularly in the modern game. What players you bring to the club, how you spend your money, in terms of how that's viewed by the board. That's a huge consideration for me.
So you're saying he buys players instead of developing them?
Yeah, no, he's not a coach.
He's a manager.
Well, clearly he's a manager.
He's director of football.
He manages.
Manages what?
He's a manager. He manages.
Does he give you good tactics?
Oh, that's a huge. That's a conversation for another day.
It's not. It's a conversation for today.
We had this conversation. We had it inadvertently in regards to Marino last night, in terms of your responsibility as a manager.
I just want to know: would Steve Bruce be tactically astute? Would he give you a great plan for a Saturday? Like, what does he do here? He buys Kenny Cunningham, says he's the best in the Premiership, and then what does he do?
Yeah, no, didn't do a huge amount. Right. Didn't do a huge amount of tactical work on the training pitch.
So he didn't coach on the.
It's some good coaches underneath him.
Okay.
I will say that I worked with kind of Eric Black and.
He got rave reviews pretty much everywhere he went.
Yeah, and Mark Hughes is number 2, who's followed him around. Mark Bowen. So what I will say, I think if you're a manager and you haven't got the skill set to coach. Some managers don't like coaching. Some managers actually can coach. It is actually a skill set.
Sure.
I have a lot of respect for managers who know their limitations and get people in to do the job for them.
And that was a Bruce.
So managers who don't coach, who could get good coaches in to do the job for them. For me, that in itself is good management. That's what you need to do. What I don't have not as a manager, somebody who doesn't coach and doesn't get the people in with those kind of skill sets on their managing team is selling the players short.
But
That's not good.
Bruce at least got good people in to coach.
Yeah, I had a couple of good coaches when I was at the football club, and I'll be honest with you, with experience, what I find with Steve is that he likes experience in the team, experienced players. I think you'll find that with the Aston Villa signings, people he brought into the football club. John Terry, obviously, Glenn Whelan, and another. And almost kind of hands responsibility over to those experienced players to kind of do the job on the pitch.
Sounds like the way to do it. Sign a few experienced lads, get some lads to coach for you.
Put your feet up.
What's Brucey doing in the office?
Ching ching.